Alright, so in this one we are going to be doing my updated top 10 tier list. I figured this would happen with the Goku Black, thinking that he'd be better at least than Bardock, and Bardock being on that really low threshold there of, you can see the list here being, 9, 10, whatever you want to say. And I just figured, why not go through this fast and quickly within the lower tiers? They don't matter. You don't care about them. I don't care about them. So just go through it again, more updated than not. If you want to see the other tier list pre-Goku Black to post-Goku Black, feel free to watch that. But this one, again, is going to be probably the one moving into the part 2. That would probably be more accurate, right? Maybe Red Broly can do something, maybe, within next week. I'm unsure of him. I'm not really the most confident. I wasn't most confident about Goku Black being what he is now. But we shall see as time does progress, clearly. And even the Yellow Zenkai on June 10th, which, again, who knows who that even could be. But just to go over the little bottom tiers here, it's, I don't know, I adjusted a little bit. It's nothing crazy. I mean, I moved Bardock down from, 9 to 10. I took off Janemba from the list because we got a new addition. And it's like, sure, Janemba's okay. Trust me, I've used these units more. It's more like that at the bottom tiers. I just try these units a little bit more than I had in the prior few days, and Bardock is definitely a liability, but I definitely prefer Bardock over the likes of Janemba. So Bardock makes the list. Buhan using a little bit more actually today, and he was decent enough, doing enough optimization for himself. Those blue cards, definitely using those cancel buffs early is pretty nice, as well as if you do use them within others and then Buhan does his blues, you actually can hit pretty nice, as well as Stall and the Terra Rush, which right now rushing is kind of like your win condition for the most part of most matches. Then you got Trunks, again, decent placing. I think he actually probably could go up if there was just less competition, but these units above Trunks and anything above that kind of goes to a higher degree of just goodness that Trunks kind of just can't correlate to. Napjita definitely would go down just because there's a new yellow, so guess what? The yellow is going to make the purples go down. And then we actually get to the top 6 where I think things start to actually matter. I mean, realistically, it's just the top 4, but the top 6 is kind of where it's like starting to begin. And I actually do have a debate between these two. I was thinking initially within Vegito and 13. I will keep it where 13 is right now just because I think 13 is definitely a boost merchant and he's going to age in a much worse vacuum in this current era of comparable to Vegito, because Vegito is definitely, showing a lot more life within his merit a little bit of time ago. 13 just kind of got up here within just getting up here in the last week and a half and, such and such. But 13 definitely is valuable. I would say you run to 13 a lot more than Vegito as well. You're running into that pure movies team of Broly and Gogeta as well as 13. A lot more you ever run to Vegito. So again, if you want to debate 13 as 5 as well as debate him as 6, I think you could definitely argue either or. I just think Vegito, when he's not fighting, and yes, he will be fighting him a lot, but when he's not fighting that one unit in the game, Vegito is still looking like that top 3 unit. But because that unit's so commonplace within everyone owns Goku Black because he was so disappointing, and then, all these other things of just returning so often, of just disappointing units return a lot on banners, I think you're more likely to have 13 do his shining star role more than Vegito ever can. Again, that's why I kind of want it where it could be 5/6 shared there, but I will keep it here. I think 13 definitely can be a liability in some instances as well, while Vegito can also be a liability, and we're talking about them right now together, so I just put them, in their own placements. I feel as more confident to say that 13's more liability in those games than not within having, his weaker defenses and everything than Vegito because he's older. The Stardust Fall make more impact when 13 gets hit by it, or Broly doing 2 cards and you're not defense neutral, well, Broly's gonna end up killing you at that point. And while Vegito, again, can die to Yellow Goku Black in the same sequences, I think it's more susceptible for 13, especially if you don't really have him going and just, getting level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 gauge. He's going to be just a nothing factor, and I think that's where the number 6 comes in for him. But you also can't optimize him to be better off and then make your Gogeta actually look pretty powerful, so it's just a twist of fate. Sometimes he'll look like number 6, sometimes he'll look like number 5. I'd be more confident to say that I'm more worried to run 13 than I am to run Vegito. Sometimes it's more of a 50-50 split there, but again, I think Vegito individually clearly handles himself better, so give Vegito a little bit more grace that he has here instead of giving 13 that grace. So we move on from that into the top 4, and let me take a swig because this is where things get definitely interesting. Oh my, that was a big swig. We go into the top 4 and say it is Legend Rose. Now, I was actually contemplating again 4/3. I won't actually tell you who number 3 is right now, but I was contemplating 4 and 3 because Rose really is kind of that silver bullet. I feel you have a lot of these games. He's the one that's having the uncancelable neutral, and I think that's super valuable, considering Broly's in the matches a lot. Doing the damage you can to Broly, kind of getting a snipe potency against Broly within a blue unit is just impeccably valuable, clearly, but even more so than that, he's the one spawning those blue cards, so he could waste the cancel buff effects early game as well. I think there's just a lot of more intangibility he can create, but he also is more so RNG dependent. You're getting those crits, you're getting those debuffs, so you have to rely on just RNG of the crits. You have to rely on them not doing the correct 50-50 on when you don't have cover and all, then you're trying to debuff stack and do real damage. You got to rely on some things you just can't control in your own merit, of your own force, every single time within Legend Rose, because you're not always going to have your optimal setting, and within that, I think he can struggle to a degree. He also can be victimized pretty easily. He doesn't have this incredible defense neutral that Yellow Goku Black has, and just the intangibility of that so often, right? Yellow Goku Black has 10 counts defense neutral, and then 10 more counts defense neutral within the gauge getting filled. So that's 20 counts defense neutral. That's a lot. Well, if I have my Broly, he's in, full power. I, land a Goku Black kind of card there on him, and then boom, I have a blue card with Broly, then he does nullify endurance, and then I stalled out with Broly because I was using his mechanic, and then just stalling because his mechanic can, gives you that availability to stall, and then boom, well, this guy gets blown up to bits, and it's like, well, shit, that happened. He also can be a red unit victim, as everybody here can be that victim, start us fall. I wouldn't say this guy's necessarily squishy, but of the 3 of a PO trio, he would definitely be the squishiest of those 3. So I think Legend Rose does hit a decent spot here. He is giving you, again, more rush stalling, all these great things, but I don't think he's the perfect unit for right now. He definitely can do some early game good stuff. He really is your early game monster, but once things kind of get going within, Stardust Fall can get active, you have Super Saiyan Broly, and so, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, you have Yellow Goku Black transforming, that's where everyone else kind of gets to that league above. So early game, yeah, this guy looks like your best unit a lot of times, especially if your Gogeta doesn't have a lot of blast cards, and RNG is just RNG, but as time progresses, and it's not a fast, or rather slow progression, it's like 20, 30, maybe 40 counts, things are going, and then you're kind of seeing Legend Rose being a little bit more of a sideline unit than your main forefront unit. So I do put him there, but again, I was debating 3/4, and number 3 for me is actually going to end up being Legend Gogeta, or Legend, holy shit. That was great. Ultra Gogeta Blue, holy shit, I'm still recovering from that 8 drinks. Ultra Gogeta Blue, though, I don't feel he is actually worrying to me. I've run it where I've run, the team of Ultra Gogeta Blue, Rose, and I ran it where I ran the Broly variant of Broly, Rose, and it felt so much easier to win with the Broly variant than the Gogeta Blue variant. It wasn't even close. I had to use less brain power, I had to use less priority, so I'm playing literally worse while using the Broly variant, yet I'm still winning and just kind of clobbering through. Matter of fact, referring to those drinks, I played on stream running the Broly variant more, and I'm 8 drinks, I'm 7 drinks in, and I'm over double, I'm almost triple the damage my opponents, and this is me not even coherently here. 8 drinks is a lot of drinks, and I'm still decimating. It's not even a fucking question of how easy it is. So if I could do that while doing that, and while I'm fighting the Gogeta variant, I'm fighting the movie pure team, I'm fighting all these other teams with Gogeta, I feel that goes to kind of forefront show how easy the Broly variant is. And this is not to say Gogeta is bad. Matter of fact, again, this is just more so that Gogeta requires a little bit more from you than Broly does, and within that, I think Broly is just a simpler unit, and the simpler they are, the easier they are. The easier they are, the more they do for you, typically. And that's what I see with Broly. Gogeta, again, you kind of have to have this more optimal setting for him. Have a couple blast cards ready for him, have maybe a green card hopefully get drawn up. You just have to more so force things with the guy, and that's where he really gets his, top tier showing and these, really high placings. But I don't feel like you can consistently always create that. With Broly, it's like, okay, they have to make me transform. Okay, they don't make me transform. Well, guess what? I'm winning on damage because they just aren't doing anything. They're quick attacking me for 200k. Oh no! And then they're baiting out so much that you can kind of play around that quick attack, and then boom, you get a free combo, you get your yellow Goku Black, you get your Legend of the Goku Black, you let these guys go crazy. That's just simple and easy to do. With Gogeta, I feel like you have to like be a fucking mad scientist comparably. Again, it's not actually, but comparably, to make him look as dominant of oppression that Broly looks very simplistically by just literally coexisting. Broly has the gauge, Broly is the oppression. Gogeta, Stardust Fall takes time. Gogeta has to have these more so idealistic spots, you know, to really do his thing. And it's not to say Gogeta, again, is bad. It's just to say Gogeta, in my eyes, does have subpar attributes and definitely has lacking things, where I think Broly in those same spots, the oppression he creates kind of makes up for any of his lacking. You know, his lacking damage in before full power. Well, he's a defense type for one, so he's defending really well. He has allies that do crazy damage of Legend Rose, Yellow Goku Black. You can make up for those things. You can't make up for the subpar defense that Gogeta Blue has, or the subpar kind of stalling spot that Gogeta Blue has. It's more so you have the allies that do these other things, and maybe they can create some other spots for him, but he himself cannot make up for that within someone else. There's no one that's going to do that for you. Unless you do run Broly, and that Pure Movies team is pretty good, but then even from there, you're going to not run Yellow Goku Black. You're really not going to run the guy that's going to be in the top 2 here. It just wouldn't make any sense to do. So you're just making a subpar team at that point. Again, I think Gogeta Blue is fine. I don't think he needs, you know, any help. I don't think he needs a buff or anything. He might get a buff. You know, part 2, part 3 exists. We'll see. But for now, I don't think he's really, you know, lost cause or anything. He's a solid part 1 ultra anniversary headliner. He could be better, sure, in this current meta, but I don't think he's anything outlandishly amazing or, you know, mediocre. And then we move on into the top 2, with it being Yellow Goku Black of number 1 and Legend Broly at number 2. There it is. It's interesting, man. Again, no one expected Yellow Goku Black to hit these echelons of tiers. This guy had no precedent to be here. You know, MZ, you can argue it. Goku, you could argue it. They had the precedent to be up there, right? MZ just had a little bit of inflation he needed, and then boom, MZ was skyrocketing. Goku literally had a very good foundational kit, and then boom, he got the buff they needed, and then he skyrocketed. Yellow Goku Black has so many flaws, and they attended to some of them, but, you know, definitely not every single one. But then, boom, inflation gets top 1. It's insane. That guy is definitely controlling the game more than not, comparably to what he would expect to be. Again, I predicted he'd be like 4/5 on tier list within just initially hearing about and reading his equipment. And I thought that was like, that was pretty good gas, right? 4/5. Like, this guy wasn't even top 10 on drop. Or if he was like number 10, number 9, whatever bullshit. Nope. This guy is just crazy. But touch on Broly real quickly, as I touched on Gogeta Blue so much. Again, Broly, I feel like the field pressure is just always there. Again, I will always let my Broly just take a billion hits. Even before I let my Yellow Goku Black get gauge, maybe if it's like a Gogeta, again, Gogeta in these spots maybe might force me out to where I have to play more secure because he's bursting so well. But even then, at the end of the day, my Broly's going to transform. Broly's going to do more things. He's going to do more intangibles. He's going to destroy their rush. He's going to steal their rush. He's going to destroy their Dragon Balls. He's going to do some solid damage after retaliation damage. He builds up damage while doing cards. He builds up debuffing them as well. You have debuffing with Broly. You have debuffing with Rose. You have incredible big moves of the green card, blue card. They kind of force create within Broly as well as Yellow Goku Black there. So you kind of keep forcing those out the way. It's just the duo-ship that he has within Yellow Goku Black is just unprecedented, and it's pretty obvious that this would be the case, right? Broly got a yellow partner, so Broly has it where, I guess he should be better than Yellow Goku Black, yes, but he has it where he's just more untouchable than he ever was. I think within Vegito, it was a pretty good argument to say Broly wasn't number 1, because Vegito could check him, but now that Vegito is the one checked, and it's not a debate, we all know Vegito is the one that's getting checked within anybody that is the dominant tiers, or should have been in the dominant tiers. Well, Broly just has, again, more merit to himself to be in those top brackets, and number 2 for me here. So, again, I don't see anything wrong with Broly. A lot of people beg about his offenses and be like, he's got to do more damage. Well, brother, you have the best damage dealer in the game, with it being Yellow Goku Black's bursting potential, because that literally just is better than anybody else in the game. Those blue cards are fucking incredible. You have a pretty fast stacker of Legend Rose on your team, and you even can run Gogeta Blue on your team. It's not like you're not fucking allowed to run Gogeta Blue like these three together. You can run all these units together, so I feel like the damage thing for Broly, it's like, he doesn't need to be doing damage. He's doing so many other things that you don't really require. He's just a more secure Buuhan. I think the best argument to give Broly is just he's Buuhan, just a lot safer for himself, and there's not really anything kind of missing within that. You can argue, sure, maybe Sargated to a degree within Broly, I guess, but even when I had this guy at a lower stars, not 14 stars like I do, like 8, 10, whatever, I didn't feel much struggle within the guy on defensive build. I always build this guy triple pure defense, so again, maybe people feel struggle within him. I don't, but that's just my experience here, and I've run these units for a good bit, especially Broly, because I think, again, Broly is better than Gogeta Blue. But then Yellow Goku Black, again, just to kind of finish out the point, this man just... that burst, bro, those blue cards, whether he be in base form and he's just cooking up people on random strikes. The extra cover only gives you, by the way, that early game is very nice, especially within these new philosophy units. Broly does not have a lot of cover and all, as well as Legend Rose, so you guys having a sequence where you have 15 counts cover and all now, because Yellow Goku Black, within every time he gets his gauge, clearly, but especially on that beginning kind of fight, and I think that's where the fight really is determined a lot of the games, is who's getting their rush faster, who's getting their beginning games faster, who's kind of, destroying outright of the gate. I think that's where the games really is determined a lot of the time, especially if you are running into a mirror match of, let's say, Broly, Rose, or even with Gogeta Blue in those teams, and giving that, again, intangibility that Broly wants there from Yellow Goku Black is always going to be a crazy support role. More so than that, again, the blue cards hit like a monster truck. The green card being low animation, I mean, that's a flaw, but I guess it is a nice thing as well, because you can quick attack into that green card. Even if you fucked up your quick attack, you're not actually trying to chain it, and boom, similar Buuhan vibe there. You do the same thing. Broly do the same thing on blue cards, same exact merit. And yeah, this guy, he's the one. If you ain't running him, you're kind of just trolling. This is where I say, again, that movie's team is subpar to a degree, just because you're going to have it where you're just running someone that's not in those top tiers. Whether it be the Legend, whether it be the LF, you're going to miss a Rose that's just going to be able to dominate much easier than, let's say, the likes of 13 on a team. But again, it's not a terrible team. That movie's team is just subpar to what I would consider one of the better teams. I consider the best team in the game, again, to be 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3 should work out very well, but again, I think even on that, I think, again, Legend Rose does give a lot of value, where I could argue that 3 and 4 should be tied. I'll keep it where it is, because I definitely can see Gogeta Blue doing more bang for his buck, especially easier than harder. I think it's a lot easier for Gogeta Blue to pop off than for Legend Rose. It takes a bit of time. He literally is meant to take a bit of time. Gogeta Blue does some burst, he does some Stardust, and boom, 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 boom. That's where he really goes crazy. It's nothing like, you don't have to do anything extra within that. It's just, again, these other two above Gogeta Blue are so simplistic. It kind of feels, a little bit daunting to think, wow, Gogeta Blue's that simple. How simple are they? Well, even more fucking brain dead than the other two. But that's where I keep it right now for the updated top 10. Again, I do not expect to change this for Red Broly. I did not expect to have to adjust this so highly for Yellow Goku Black, but I don't think Red Broly can do the merits of Yellow Goku Black. Maybe he can. I don't know how the fuck he would. If he ends up being better than Gogeta Blue, that would actually kind of make Anniversary worse. I clearly like that Yellow Goku Black is top tier and dominant, and this is a guy that deserves a resurgence. But I understand the people's frustration of being like, well, my Anniversary headliners are worse than somebody that's just a year and a half old, 18 months old. They're worse than him. Like, I wouldn't say it's fully, like, valid to be mad about that, but I get, like, the annoyance of, so why'd I pull these guys? What the fuck do I need them for? You do need them. It's just, you need this guy a little bit more. But we'll see what Red Broly does, man. I don't anticipate anything crazy. If I had to predict the top 10 for Red Broly, I'd predict putting him 5 or 6. Vegeta would go down. 13 would argue a similar vibe there, just because he's gonna be wrong. Broly would be blue, red, green, right? That'd probably be the team there. Broly, as well as 13 or something akin to that, especially if Broly's good enough to kind of deter Yellow Goku Black. But we'll see. All right, we're not there yet. It's a couple days out. My updated top 10 list, though, will be as follows, with it being Yellow Goku Black at number 1, Legend Broly number 2, Ultra Gogeta Blue number 3, Mr. 2.0, Legend Rose number 4, Legend Super Vegeta number 5, Legends Limited Android 13 number 6, Nap Vegeta number 7, LF, Sword of Hope Trunks number 8, Ultra, as well as number 9 for Ultra Buhan, and number 10 for Legend Bardock. Let me know what you guys think of my updated top 10 list. I'll see you guys in the next one.